The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's looking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you use sign-up code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guys. Me, really raw, villain rocks, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Oh, man. I mean, depending how you played my lock, you either won or you lost. And I mean, I guess that's how it is every single time. So that really doesn't make sense. But like, I had the Grizzlies. I laid the 1.5. Probably should have just did the money line. More than likely, I would love to assume a lot of people that heard that and said, hey, I should take the Grizzlies too, also took the money line instead of, 1.5 like I did. But, it is what it is. Shout out Ja at the end of the game, getting the last shot. Buzzer beater, winner.
They were up by a ton too.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't get this Suns team. I really don't. But
I mean, I get it. They stink. I mean, that's really all there is to get, isn't there?
yeah, they do. All right. You heard him. Scott Studio Rush Show. Oh yeah, and my dog was Trae Young again, and he went out. And he's getting an MRI today.
Yep.
Same team collision there on the knee. Very brutal injury. Wouldn't be surprised if it's bad. Hope it's not. Scott Studio Rush Show. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
By the way, sorry, I just want to throw out there. I did get insurance on Trae Young, by the way.
I have to check to confirm I did too, because I had some Trae Young stuff yesterday too. Yeah, I got my ass kicked in the NBA yesterday. That's the bad news. The good news is I wasn't on the show. So I guess that's the bright side, but I got buried in the NBA yesterday. I had Trae Young and Anthony Davis.
Oh,
that's that one for me.
Oh, man.
Not good.
Does that count? Does that count? Are they going to honor that?
Well, they're going to honor the Trae Young. I might have bet Anthony Davis on a local book that does not honor it, so I lost that one. But I had his rebounds at 11.5. He had 4 in 4 minutes, and then he got injured. So that's not really fun, but either way, it happens in the NBA. But yeah, once again, we have a limited card, but a couple of good games in there. Only one game on TV. The start times, by the way, are ridiculous. You have 4 games all separated by an hour and a half with no late game, which I just think is very weird, but whatever. We have 4 games, looking forward to it. But yesterday was not good for me. Full disclosure, was not a good day.
Actually, I mean, I know the lock and dog didn't go my way, but I went back and I'm looking at the tally site picks, and they went pretty well. We hit Nuggets, hit Jazz, hit Lakers. We were so pessimistic about taking the Lakers, and we were just like, oh, forget it, we'll take the Lakers. And sure enough, Lakers get the outright win. And then the Bulls.
Well, the Lakers blew it too, and then Reeves bailed them out at the end.
Yep. 20-point lead. Big losers were the Magic and the Cavs. That just horrible looks there. But
we'll talk about the Magic in a second, but I have some takes on Orlando.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. We've got all the podcasts on the network: Sports Gambling Podcast, MLB Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast, the College Experience, where you can get college football and college basketball starting up real soon, and NHL, the Hockey Gambling Podcast. They're all live and giving out free picks. So just like how, we have good days in the NBA, you can get good days in all the other sports too. So make sure you go check them out. We're on the SGPN feed to catch every episode of all the different podcasts. All right. Let's see here. We got... Who do we want to start off with first here, Scott? Yeah, the 4-game slate with nothing in the late window is actually really annoying, especially because we have Thursday night football as well tonight. So literally everything is tipping off at the same time, and everything is probably going to end at the same time too. So probably an early night to go to bed tonight.
A lot of it's geographic. I understand that there are no West Coast teams playing, but it just looks bad.
Yeah.
San Antonio, you could have bumped back maybe to even like 9 or 9:30. I know it's going to sound annoying for people on the East Coast, but I'm up at 3 a.m. anyway, so just deal with it. But the point is, I feel like they could have stretched it out a bit more instead of clogging up all of the games within an hour and a half stretch. But yeah, whatever. It's not the biggest NBA day.
All right. Orlando on the road, going to play the Charlotte Hornets. 7 p.m. is the tip here. Orlando's laying 3.5. 240.5 is the total. Orlando has yet to submit an injury report. Why, you might ask? Well, because they were getting their ass kicked by the Pistons last night. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons, and I'm honestly disappointed in myself for not being on the Pistons yesterday.
I had the Pistons on tally site, so
I am so disappointed in myself for not being on the Pistons yesterday, man. I allowed the outside influences to get me off of my love of this Pistons team, but no longer. I will not do it again. Brandon Miller out, Grant Williams out, and Josh Green out for the Charlotte Hornets. All right, Scott. Yeah, man. I mean, Orlando's got to figure out this defense thing.
I was going to say, are we talking about the game first or Orlando?
No, Orlando's defense is
subsection.
horrible. And I mean, I thought that, playing an under team in the Pistons, they could slow the game down. But no, it seems like Orlando is perfectly fine playing fast. They're perfectly fine. Like, they don't have good transition defense right now. So the best defense that they play is out of the half court, yet they're never in half court sets because they're running the entire game. I mean, if they're going to continue to play with this offensive philosophy, cool, but that's just going to kill any defensive hope that we had for this team right now. And that means that you're just walking into playing the Charlotte Hornets game here.
I mean, at first glance, the over looks very appealing because neither team can guard anybody. So I think that's a good place to start.
And they both run.
For this game, I tweeted about it midway through. I mean, I was already lower on Orlando after watching the first couple games this season. We're approaching like code red territory. Like, this is bad. Like, this is really, really bad. Paolo looks like he hasn't evolved as a player at all. He's cursing out Tobias Harris just to break 2 free throws. Very, very inefficient jump shot.
Fucking loser. Called him a loser.
Like, look, Orlando's in shambles right now. And I tweeted about it a couple days ago because I'm not sure what you can actually do from a lineup rotation perspective to fix this.
No, just slow the game down. Just slow the game down and play out the half court. When they play half court defense, they're not horrible. But it's the fact that the game is going up and down constantly. There's been multiple times where it was Orlando got like a turnover and they're trying to run and get out in the break, and then they turn the ball back over, and now it's like a 2-on-3 for the Pistons or something like that, and they get an easy bucket. Like, it's so, oh my gosh.
For reference,
slow down. Just slow down.
Orlando does rank 9th in pace, just for reference. But I mean, looking at the lineup play, I know they're playing with faster tempo, but you have Suggs, you have Bane, you have Wagner, you have Paolo, and you have Carter. I don't know if you can bench anybody. Suggs' minutes are kind of limited. They've been using Black off the bench, who sometimes plays more minutes than Suggs. You're not benching Bane. You're not benching Franz. You're not benching Paolo. You're not benching Carter. So I don't actually know what the move is besides you just play slower and you hope it works out. Because I don't actually know if you can change anything from a rotation perspective, or it's just a Mosley situation where he has lost his actual pulse on the team. Because I think I'd agree with you. They should be playing slower because right now playing fast isn't working at this point. But I don't really understand if they can succeed playing a fast pace, and I don't think they can.
No,
I think
they
have
can't.
to play
No,
slow.
they can't. They do. This is horrible. This is a horrible game plan for them. Play slow, get some good offensive sets, and play good defense. They're not doing that, and they're perfectly fine not doing that. And until then, I can't take it. I can't take this.
Not to mention, by the way, their bench is absolutely terrible, which I have to point out because I'm a big Tyus Jones guy. It doesn't look very good at the moment for Tyus Jones. I'm not sure if he's totally washed or it's just a, type of system adjustment, but that bench is a catastrophe for Orlando as well. So that's another concern. I do want to ask you, not to get too deep into it, but I have to bring this up. I know you were a lot higher on Paolo than I was. We had
Mhm.
multiple discussions last season about the Franz's team versus Paolo's team. Have you wavered at all, or are you still firmly on Paolo Island? Because I have been very unimpressed by the development of Paolo. I still think, of course, he's a solid player, but when you're giving him the keys to a franchise and he's one of the more inefficient jump shooters in the league, and he hasn't really adjusted his play style at all, don't you have to at least be a little bit concerned when he has really made no adjustments to improve his efficiency since he entered the league? Isn't that a concern?
No, I'm not. I think he's still good. I think he's still the alpha of the team. I also want to admit I was all on the Franz Wagner train in the beginning. Out of Michigan, I liked him, and I said, "Hey, he's a lot better, and he's a lot closer to Paulo Banchero than everybody wants to give him credit for." And he's finally shown that over the past 2 seasons that he is a lot closer, and he is. He is a lot closer than to Paulo Banchero than anybody wants to give him credit for. But I still think that it's Paulo Banchero's team. I think when he puts his head down, he gets a head full of steam and gets to the rim like he is one of the better players. Is there aspects of his game that he needs to work on? Of course, but he's still a young player. So I'm not worried about Paulo Banchero. I'm sure he's going to figure it out. I'm sure that it also has to do with coaching, and Jamal Mosley really has to rein in this offense and just figuring out who this team is, because this whatever they're doing this year, it's not working, and it's clearly not working, and you need to be able to make an adjustment. And they're not making this adjustment with the Hornets, by the way, just so everybody knows.
No, the Hornets won't let them.
The Hornets have made every single team play above their pace standards for the season in every single game. The Hornets are forcing you to play their game, and the Magic are fine playing that game, apparently. Unfortunately, that's not going to be good for them because I think it's going to go the way of the Hornets. Give me the Hornets plus 3.5 here. Over.
I'm with you on the over. I'm not taking Orlando either, especially on a back-to-back, but I'll take the over in the game.
All right. Real quick, any player props? Anything that stands out?
I gave it out on a prop show I did with Adam earlier. I like Miles Bridges under 1.5 steals and blocks at
Okay.
minus 126. I'll dare Miles Bridges to play defense. He's gone under in 13 of the last 17. He's gone under in force rate against Orlando. I get Orlando does allow some blocks and steals. I get it, but Bridges is not the kind of guy that locks in defensively. I'll put it that way. I have the under on his steals and blocks at 1.5. I mean, you can just pick whichever over you want for this game. I'm not taking many unders on points, so pick whoever you want to just have a good game and go from there. But LaMelo probably plays well. I mean, Paolo's going to attack
Dog,
the
his
basket.
assists are at 7.5.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a rogue book out here with still a 7.5 on the assists. It's ridiculous. The man has
the ball's in his hands every
go
possession.
to the NBA site and watch the condensed game. Every Hornets highlight, LaMelo has the ball in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't, he's probably not on the court.
Well, to be fair to him, now they don't have a choice because Miller's injured and now indefinitely. So they kind of need the ball in his hands the entire time. And they've been winning some games. So, yeah, I see LaMelo having the ball in his hands the entire game, especially against the bad defense. So, yeah, I think he's in line for a monster game.
All right. Let's see here. What do we got next on the
Well,
docket?
I do want to ask, by the way, sorry, just quickly, not going to spend too much time on Orlando, but I see Josh pointing out that Bain so far hasn't been a good addition. Needs the ball in his hands, takes away from Franz and Paolo. You agree with that, or do you think it's more just coaching being incompetent?
Coaching. Yeah, coaching being incompetent. Do not put the ball in his hands.
I like Bain as a player.
Do not move off this 3-point line. Just do not move off this 3-point line. Bad things happens when Desmond Bain starts dribbling the ball too much. Stop dribbling. What did Buddy Hield's dad say? Stop dribbling. Bad things happen when Desmond Bain dribbles the ball too much. I would just leave it at that.
I think you could be right, but I do think it's based on coaching, not exactly understanding the hierarchy of the team.
Yeah, not understanding the hierarchy, not reeling them in together, allowing this incredibly bad offensive philosophy to ruin the entire team. I'm so out. I'm so out on the Magic until they change. And then it's crazy because it's a long season. They're going to turn this around. Then I'm going to be all in on this team. But for right now, completely out. Okay. Before we get to the next game on the slate, gotta talk to you about mybookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, including the NBA, NFL, college football, all of that's going on. Their models bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can do that with mybookie.ag. So head over there, use that promo code SGPN for 100% bet bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. And because they are the #1 sports prediction market, you know you're getting the best prices on the market. Just head over there and look and check it out. Why? Why go pay -115, -120? You can get over there seeing -104, -105. Like, come on, go check them out on Novig. Available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend just $5 when you use promo code SGPN. Get it on the action with Novik, promo code SGPN. The Golden State Warriors tip it off at 8 p.m. in Milwaukee, going up against the Milwaukee Bucks, who are 3-1, despite me being out on them this season. Congrats to the Milwaukee Bucks. Warriors laying 3.5. Warriors laying 3.5. 231.5 is total. Injury report for these two teams. And we've got Moses Moody is questionable. Giannis is probable. Kevin Porter Jr. out. All right, here.
Do you think Golden State, first things first, should be favored on the road in Milwaukee?
Yes.
Okay. Just ask.
Yes.
How good do we think Golden State is? Because they look really good.
I'm not sure how good, but I think that Steve Kerr is, when we have those up and down times with Steve Kerr as a coach, I think he's doing
we're in an uptime now.
We are in uptime now. He is doing really, like, the third quarter is back, masterful. He's coming out of halftime and he's getting the team right and together every single time. The fact that they were able to go and play that game after the incredibly fast game they played against Memphis, the incredibly physical game they played against Memphis, despite getting a sizable win against Memphis. It was fast, it was physical, it was a very tough game to play, and then they go bounce back, and they handled the Clippers in the second half, and it was like what?
They gave up less than 80 points.
Part of that is the Clippers being the Clippers, but come on, less than 80. That's literally crazy. This is literally a 1970s NBA score.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Warriors did that on the second leg of a back-to-back. Shout out to me for really liking the under in the game and not locking it up.
I guess I'm just wondering, like, how high are you willing to go on Golden State? Do you think that they are an inner circle title contender, or do you think they're more of just top 4 seed, dark horse candidate? We'll go from there.
I don't know if I want to jump all the way to title contender yet, just because I know we're going to get the downtime with Steve.
We're going to get an injury here or there, but we saw last year, though, when healthy, this team is definitely dangerous.
If the Warriors keep this up for the duration of the entire season, they would be a title contender. I don't think it's going to happen. The NBA is hard, but this team looks good. They look good.
They look good.
And so
Kuminga looks really good, too.
So now the question is, how good is Giannis going to be in this game?
Yeah, because they need him to carry the entire team.
And he can. That's what he's shown. What Giannis has shown in the first 4 games is a realization that I have not given him enough credit for how much Giannis can actually carry a bunch of bums to a bunch of wins.
He is so damn good when healthy.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the part that I forgot. But he is very much capable of carrying bums. And he doesn't have just bums on the team either. But he's very capable of carrying bums to a lot of wins in the NBA. And so Golden State, who is one of the worst teams in the NBA, bottom third in opponents' points in the paint defense because they have no bigs.
Mm-hmm.
What is the option to stop Giannis here?
The option is you could potentially send a double, and at that point, you're giving up a bunch of threes to role players, or you try to sag off and hope Giannis settles for jump shots. Right? I mean, isn't those your only 2 options at this point?
Yep.
Or you tell Draymond to injure somebody. That's option C. I got to throw it out there, after he tackled Jaren Jackson Jr.
My concern for the Warriors is still the amount of games that they played up to this point, and then the time that they have played them. because even though, I mean, you could say the one game difference looks different when you take into account that they played 2 back-to-backs already.
Yeah. But they've passed those tests, though. Like, props to them. They've
Yeah,
looked
I
really
mean,
good.
they continue to look good despite the horrible scheduling to start the season. They continue. I don't know. I don't know if I can fake this Warriors team. I really do see the cause of they have no option to stop Giannis, and if you can't stop Giannis, Giannis can very much carry a team to a win. And if the role players are at home, they could hit the threes this game. But it's really hard not to take the Warriors right now.
So I do want to ask you, do you care about home court? Because the Warriors have played 5 games, only 2 of them were on the road.
I think it means more for the role players in this game of Milwaukee.
Just saying, because they played the opener against the Lakers. They ended up winning that one. Luka had 40, whatever. Who cares? Warriors won. They lost to the Trailblazers by 20 on the second night of back-to-back. Besides that, every other game was at home. So I'm just wondering, like, do you think the Warriors might be one of those teams that might be good on both, but they're just much better at home than on the road? Because the sample's too small on the road.
Yeah, it could potentially. We got it. We'll see. We've seen the Warriors. We've seen the Warriors in those injured years have really bad struggles on the road, but like I'm pretty sure I remember them being pretty decent on the road last year.
I mean, usually they don't bottom out. I think a couple of years ago they did, but normally they're usually around 500 on the road, but they're so good at home that it just works to a winning record. That's kind of how they balance it out. But normally they are better at home than on the road. So that's kind of why I'm asking. If you think that the Warriors, as good as they are, having a lot of home games early has helped out their cause.
I do want to have some type of action on Milwaukee in this game. So here's my consideration. I'm considering Milwaukee first half, Warriors money line, because the Warriors third quarter has been so damn good.
It has.
You can, if you want to just go ahead and bet that early, it's -1.5, -105 here. I mean, it's been so damn good this year. And I can see the script of this Warriors team is overwhelmed by Giannis very early in the game. He gets the role players going. They're hitting a couple of shots. Steve Kerr says, all right, enough of that. Decides to figure out however it may be to neutralize Giannis in that second half. They go on a run and they close. Like this Warriors team can close basketball games. And I think that's just going to be the final thing. So I'm on the Warriors laying 2.5. I do like the play of a Milwaukee Bucks first half Warriors money line.
Yeah, so I understand your angle. I think I'll disagree. I think I'll go with Milwaukee plus the 2.5 for the money line here. I think Golden State's the better team. I'm not going to tell you I think Milwaukee's better than this team, but I still want to see Golden State on the road a bit more. I do think home road splits exist with this team, historically speaking, and Milwaukee so far has really answered every question that I had. They beat the Knicks. I know you could argue the Knicks aren't exactly playing up to their standard or expectations right now. Mike Brown's figuring some stuff out. Cat does not look good at all. They have their own problems, but Milwaukee handled business. I thought they looked pretty good. I do think the points in the paint is going to be a concern for Golden State, of course, with Giannis, with the spacing they have on the floor. That could take some adjustments, but I might just need a bigger sample with Golden State on the road. And I feel like without that sample, I really don't want to lay 2.5 on the road against a Milwaukee team that has been very good. Their one loss was to Cleveland. They lost by 5 on the road. No shame in that. They've been good in every other game they played in. I'll take Milwaukee. Probably not going to bet the side, to be honest. I might want to actually get a bigger sample, but conceptually, I don't really want to lay points with a West Coast team traveling to the Midwest to play their third road game in the season. Not really interested. I'll take Milwaukee, but I'm probably not going to bet it.
All right. Total's at 231.5. Over. Because
Milwaukee's games have been going over regularly, so I think I'll go with you.
They are 3-1 to the total. Golden State 4-1 to the total. 2-0 on the road. Golden State 2-0 at home for the Bucks. Yeah, give me points here. I mean, of course you're playing your Giannis props.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody not to.
Yeah, you're playing your Giannis props.
I like Butler points at 18.5. I like the over. It's -118. He's gone over in 4, and I think 5 of the last 6 against this team. And we know Butler, with his history in Miami, does tend to show up against Milwaukee, historically speaking. I thought 18.5 was too low. I'll go for the.
And he's been so aggressive. He's been really aggressive.
He goes to the line like 10 times a game.
Like that's what it is with me for Jimmy Butler. It's the aggression and it's the all right, I understand I'm playing with Steph Curry, but I'm going to go get mine.
Mm,
I'm Jimmy Butler. And
and it works.
that's what's different about him this year. It's not no, I just watch Steph. Like, no, he goes out there and he gets his. So yes, I agree. Jimmy Butler is, dare I say, 5 games into the season, playing at an all-star level.
But when
Again.
healthy, he's an all-star. The problem is he gets hurt all the time. But
Yeah.
he's still looking very good with Steph. We saw that last year. And then Steph got hurt, of course, and the season fell apart. But Butler with Steph clearly works.
Yep, it does. All right. Let's see here. I like threes too. So I think somebody in the chat was talking about threes. I think the Bucks role players from 3 look pretty decent. Looks like the Warriors have been very, very hurt from the corner 3 department here, giving up nearly 40% from corner 3. So
That sounds like Trent or AJ Green.
yeah.
So there you go. Shout out to Cole Anthony, by the way. He's played very well.
By the way, and the Bucks also giving up 40% from corner 3 as well. So
Right.
just nice little call out there. All right, where are we at? The Washington Wizards or the Bullets? As you know, if we were doing a show with Kobe, that's probably what Kobe would refer to them as. If we got to get Kobe up here.
Well, if you had the money
Terrell.
line last game, they shot through your bankroll.
Oh,
What a disaster. I don't know what the hell that was against the Sixers down the stretch, but damn, man, that was a rough choke job.
and I was watching it real time, like, oh my god, they're gonna lose the
And you
game.
could see it coming too. You could see it coming.
They lost the
Grimes
cover,
got a
too.
wide open 3 on that last drive, and they're isolating for Chris Middleton on the last. I'm like, okay, all right, I can see where this is going.
Chris
But-
Middleton and CJ McCollum took all the shots down the stretch for the Wizards.
Doesn't surprise me, but they're not serious. It is what it is.
It lets you know they're very much not serious.
Yeah.
You've got to put the ball in other guys' hands. They're actually playing better. How did you not get the ball to Sar? What? All right. Wizards are in OKC. OKC is at 5-0. I mean, could it be the Wizards? It's always a chance.
Could be worse. You're not the Nets.
They're laying 15.5. It's actually gone down, Scott. It says here it opened at 17.5. I didn't see that, but it says it opened at 17.5.
I don't know how much I believe the opening lines because one book will go rogue. They'll immediately switch it. And you're back to where you are normally.
Yep. 231.5 is the total injury report. And we have Bilal Coulibaly is available for this game.
That's my guy on this team.
It is. Marvin Bagley's questionable. It's actually because when I was watching the game, Marvin Bagley was given some good minutes, so that's pretty big. And then for OKC, Isaiah Joe's questionable. That's an upgrade. Chet Holmgren is out. J-Dub's out. Karen Williams out. Topic out. Yeah.
I want to ask what your thoughts are on Oklahoma City so far because they're undefeated without J-Dub.
Just feels like
every game's close, but they win every game. So
just, doing what they need to do to win. 1-4 ATS is OKC to start the season. That is unheard of.
Every game is close, but they just find ways to come back against the Kings in the fourth quarter.
And as bad as the Wizards are,
that's a lot of points.
As bad as they are, OKC is not they're not in the situation right now to cover the spread.
I agree. It's a lot of points. I understand if you want to look at a big number once we get post-trade deadline and teams are outright tanking. Yep. I can't lay 15.5 basically 5 or 6 games into a season. I can't do that. Like the Wizards, I know they lost to the Sixers and all. They still had 110 points in 3 quarters. This team can score. They can't guard anybody, which we expected, but Oklahoma City offensively has not been that great so far this season. So there's a chance OKC goes up early. They coast. Maybe the Wizards backdoor this. Maybe they hang in there. 15.5 is a lot of points. And Oklahoma City, I'm not sure they care enough to win by blowout fashion. They're 5-0 this season. They've been winning every game anyway. I mean, they play New Orleans next, so who cares? But I'll go with the Wizards plus 15.5. If OKC wins by 30, I would not be surprised, to be clear here. But conceptually, at this point in the season, I cannot blindly lay double digits. I just can't do that. Give me the Wizards plus 15.5. They've been feisty. They've been blowing games anyway. Good enough for me. I think they lose by 12. 15.5 is a lot. I'll take the points.
So literally, I think it's the exact same thing as that Bucks game where they just continue to just hang around, hang around, hang around. Next
Yeah.
thing you know, they lose by 13
Yeah,
instead
they'll get
of.
blown out in a quarter. They'll go from like up 2 to down 15, and they'll find a way to cover at the end. It's
And
kind of
people are going to look at the Charlotte Hornets game, and I'm telling you, the Charlotte Hornets are playing at an unreal pace right now. That
Mhm.
if you blink, you're down 20. If they're clicking on all cylinders, and it was just that kind of game for the Hornets. I really don't. I don't think the Wizards are good, but I don't think OKC cares right now. And
Yeah.
OKC 21st offensive rated team right now. Wizards are 24th. Like they're hanging right around there. Yes, the Wizards are probably going to struggle to score the basketball. But if OKC gets complacent in the second half, the Wizards can find themselves into this game. Like I really don't think this is going to be OKC run away, and they haven't showed anything of it in the past, number of games. So, yeah, I'm glad we're on the same side here. Wizards
It's
plus
just
20.
so many points when you're in the second week of the season. I just can't lay that.
And it's not like this. This is not like this is Denver.
Yeah.
Denver, we were cool with it yesterday.
Well, because New Orleans is a joke. So it's a separate story. At least the Wizards are trying. I don't know what New Orleans is doing.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Hawks, by the way, who own their draft pick because they traded for Queen. So shout out to New Orleans. Shout out to Joe Dumars.
Oh man, yeah.
What a disaster in New Orleans. I feel good as a Nets fan, though. They might have burned some first-round picks over the past drafts, but at least they have a pick next year. Like, New Orleans is just in a disaster zone at this point. So, whatever. New Orleans is a fake team. At least the Wizards have shown some heart. They're trying. And I like Koulibaly.
All right. 231.5 is total. Over still.
I'm actually not sure.
No, I think this is the OKC starts to feel like, oh, all right, let's go out here. We can score a little bit. Like this Wizards team is hanging around. Let's just go ahead and keep trying to run the score up. But then the Wizards come, hey, we're not going away. We are not going away. That is how we get there. OKC is dominant offensively as they want to be, and the Wizards just do not go away. I think that this is one of the I'm not looking forward to a Wizards team total under here with the OKC defense. I think this is one where the Wizards just find themselves in the game. So I like the over, Scott.
I think that it's conflicting styles. The Wizards play fast. They don't guard anybody. The Thunder play great defense, but the Thunder scored 107 against Sacramento, 117 against Atlanta. Those teams don't guard anybody either. I might go under. I'm not going to bet the total, but it really is a battle of styles. I'm kind of hoping Oklahoma City makes the game ugly and we get ourselves a lower scoring game where OKC wins by like 13. So I'll go with the under, but I do not feel good about it. Different styles and all, but the Thunder had a hard time scoring against the Kings and against the Hawks. I mean, 217 against the Hawks is a very low number. That Hawks team doesn't guard anyone. The Kings kind of the same story. I'll go under, but I don't feel good. I don't feel great about it.
All right, Underdog Fantasy, you're home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Hey, we're about to build one right now. Scott, what do we like here in the NBA today? What do we
Well, I
like?
liked Butler 18.5 points.
Yeah, I do like that too. So let's find the higher there. Let's see if
I'm
also,
fine if it's at 19.5, but I saw a couple 18.5s.
and I have a 40% boost here, Scott.
All right.
So glad to be boosted again. Higher, it's at 19.5, but I
That's
still
fine.
like it 20. Higher, 19.5 points. Dog, I mean, I'm about to use the boost. I understand it's juiced, but like 7.5 assists is comical for LaMelo at this point.
We won the last Underdog entry that we had, and LaMelo assist was in there, so we can just run that back.
It's comical.
No, the total's 240.5. You're just assuming LaMelo is going to have a solid game.
And they're running.
Yeah.
Come
Both
on,
teams.
man. All right. Higher, LaMelo, 7.5 assists. And what else do we got here? We could go Giannis.
Nah, not really feeling Giannis.
Wemby. I know we're about to talk about that game, but Wemby's been going crazy.
Wemby has been going crazy. I wasn't sure if you wanted to go for him or you wanted to fade Bam. Or maybe fade Ware.
Interesting.
I thought it was a bad matchup for Ware, though, because he can't really shoot. And Wemby's just standing in the paint the entire time to block shots. Like, what is Ware supposed to do for points?
Kind of. Mm, no. Could we talk ourselves? We talked about the threes in the game with the Bucks. I don't want to fade Miami Heat players. Spoiler alert on who I'm about to be on later on, and after we get to that game. But I don't want to fade Heat players right now. Uh, AJ Green, Trent, Gary Trent Jr. for the threes. I could talk myself into that. Um, what
Okay, you
else?
know what? I'll throw something random out there. He's actually been very good lately. You want to go Dylan Harper assists?
Interesting. He
He's at
has been
six. He's
very
at six
good.
plus assists in 2 straight. Miami's games are extremely high scoring.
And Miami, we're going to get to the breakdown. Miami plays so fast, and Dylan Harper is the point guard that can play fast with Miami. After they put the ball in the basket, he's already taking the ball and pushing the ball up the court, getting it to somebody. Yeah,
I
I
thought
can.
about I thought about PA, but we can just do assists if you want.
Yeah, I like assists. I mean, I could talk myself in a PA too. You want to do that? If
Yeah, that's fine.
which has been better?
Well, the assists have been better, but we're looking at a game that has a very high total. So
And they're well, we don't have PA here on Underdog
then
for
we'll just do
so.
assists.
All
That's
right,
fine.
there we go. All right, I like it. Good call out, Scott.
I like
Great call
Harper.
out.
He
And
looks good.
it's a little bit spicy too.
He looks good. He's filling in for Fox. He looks solid.
All right, Dylan Harper higher 4.5 assists. Jimmy Butler higher 19.5 points, and LaMelo Ball higher 7.5 assists. 5.2x on Underdog. $100 gets you $526, but at my boost 6.96x, 40% boost. All right, make sure you head over there. Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code NBA SGPN. Let's get into rhythm. Rhythm Labs are cooking up in the NBA. Let's see what they had going in the NBA for today. NBA props. Oh, well, wait, hold on here, Scott. Look at this. Recommended play by Rhythm today is the Wizards plus 15.5 here. They are
Okay.
on our side. They're expecting for this to be closer to a 10-point game, 10.9 points here. So, all right, looky there, Rhythm, Wizards plus 15.5. Just some more extra ammo for us. I know it looks ugly, guys, but we're trying to win here. So, might have to play it today. Might have to. All right. Make sure you head over there to Rhythm. Use SGPN25 to get 25% off your first month. They're also giving out $1,000 weekly in cash prizes. Make sure you go check out Rhythm and get in on the action. SGPN25, 25% off your first month. All right, let's get into the last game of the slate. Miami Heat going up against the San Antonio Spurs. Sacramento's been on my mind recently. Really hate that team. Miami Heat going up against the San Antonio Spurs here. Spurs laying 5.5, 6 in some spots here at home. 228.5 is the total. Injury report for these two teams. And we have for there we go. For the Miami Heat, it looks like Norman Powell is still doubtful. No, Jovic is questionable. And then for the Spurs, pretty much same. Fox, Cornette, Sohan, Olenek out. Well, Scott, flowchart. Miami Heat. Oh, Heat or a dog? Well, we're on the Miami Heat today. And I'll tell you.
They look really good.
And it's because they're playing fast. They have the team that it all fits together, and they've gotten them buying into the system. There's not a lot of ball screens. It's up and down the court, driving, getting to the rim, trying to put as many points up as possible. And the good thing about the Miami Heat when they play fast, Scott, is that they still defend.
Mm-hmm.
They still defend. I know people look 115 points per game, that's average, but that's really good when you're the number one pace in the league. That's really good.
It's not fluky either. Like they
They are
look
the
very
fourth.
fluid.
They are
Yeah.
the fourth defensive rated team in the league. Spurs are second. So while I do think the Spurs defense is good, is your defense going to be as good when the Miami Heat are running up and down the court on you? Because it worked for you in the Toronto Raptors game because the Raptors can't play good defense at all. But the Miami Heat can defend while playing fast, and that's going to make them a problem here.
For the record, Toronto's defense might be the worst defense in the entire league. That defense
Yes,
is an absolute joke.
it's not the same. I understand Toronto plays fast too. It's not the same.
No, they can't guard anyone. That
I
team
think
is a joke.
The Heat are gonna get the Spurs playing out of character. They're gonna make this a close game. It's gonna be a coaching battle between Eric Spoelstra and Mitch Johnson in this one, and they're gonna do Heat things. Maybe this Spurs team is legit, and maybe this Spurs team continues to get a win. Cool, but for sure the Heat are keeping this to a one-score game, even without Norman Powell. That's Heat culture. Oh, I'm all the way behind the Heat here. They're gonna show up on the road.
I think I like the Heat too in this game. The Spurs are obviously good. They're undefeated. I'm looking at who they've played so far this season, and they haven't played anybody. They're 4-0. They beat Dallas, which we thought was a decent one at the time. Dallas stinks. Beat New Orleans in overtime. They really stink. Beat the Nets, who are also winless, and they beat Toronto. So they haven't beaten a good team this entire season. In fact, they haven't beaten a team over 500 this entire season. They haven't played anybody. Now, I understand San Antonio at home, good atmosphere, Wemby, I get all that stuff. But I have to at least point out that the Spurs being 4-0 does feel a bit misleading because they haven't played any good teams whatsoever. At least the Heat played the Knicks, and they beat the Knicks, so at least they have a good win on the record there. They've had a weak schedule too. The Spurs, I think, are a good team, but I do think they're a bit overrated because they really haven't played any team worth a damn this entire season. I'll take Miami in this game. I think Spo can have something in store for Mitch Johnson, who so far looks good as a coach, but at the same point, small sample, hasn't played a good team yet. I think Powell being out's a big deal, of course, because Powell's been a monster when he actually has played for the last season and a half. But I do think I'll go with Miami. I'll dare the Spurs to beat a good opponent. I do think Miami is a good team from what I've watched from them so far this season. But I do think at the end of the day, the Spurs have an inflated record based on a very easy schedule so far this season. Give me the 5.5. The Spurs can win this. If you want to go Spurs, maybe 1-10. But I think Miami hangs in there. I think it's close. And if the Spurs win, they win. But 5.5 is too many. I'll go for Miami.
All right. The chat is very firmly on the Spurs here. They did not waver.
Fine.
They didn't waver at all. Like, I don't think I saw anybody else that in the chat that was talking about anything positive in the Heat. The chat is firmly on the Spurs here.
It's fine. I'm just throwing it out there. They played the Pelicans. They went to overtime against. They probably should have lost. Zion missed the free throw at the end of regulation. Played the Nets. They blew a 26-point lead. That game randomly got close for no reason. I mean, the Raptors we know are bad. Dallas is a joke. I have to at least point out they haven't played a single good team this entire season. And I feel like that's worth mentioning. Yeah. So the Spurs are good, but I think they might be overrated.
Yep. I agree. I'm shocked that the entire chat. I mean, nobody.
I get it. They're undefeated. Norm Powell's not playing. I understand
the
why
Heat as
people
a dog,
might be.
We talk about this spot all the time.
To be fair, the Heat also burned me, though, because I took them to win closely against the Hornets. And they won by about 90.
Yeah, but it's okay. The Hornets played the one team that they couldn't speed up because they're faster than them.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, 228.5 is total. I like over.
I think it's correlated, so I like the over, too. I understand the Spurs' defense is great, but when Miami wants to play that fast and you have Harper, you have Castle, you have a lot of guards who can run the floor, I don't know why they would just voluntarily play half court. You might get one quarter with like 65, 70 points. It wouldn't shock me either. So I'll go with the over. Plus, I saw a couple podcasts talking about this. The officiating's out of control in the league. Just a ton of free throws going all around. So with the amount of fouls being called and everything, I really have a hard time taking unders in general. So I'll go with the over in this game. Crazy amount of free throws.
What I'll also say about the Heat is that in that Knicks game, the Knicks did slow them down. They still look really good in the half-court defense. That's the only concern here and why I'm not locking up the over. But I am completely sold on the Miami Heat right now. I'm gonna bet them and how I'm supposed to bet them. I'm gonna bet them how I'm supposed to bet them.
I'm not sure if I should bet Spo to win Coach of the Year. Like I'm wondering where I'm supposed to bet on Miami. I don't know how good Miami needs to be.
Great question. I have to reevaluate Coach.
Because if Spo reinvented the offense and this team actually finishes like with a 6 or a 5 seed, they made the playoffs last year, even though they were like a 9 or a 10. But I don't know. Like Spo or Reminders never won the award. there is a case to be made that Spo, if he keeps this up, can potentially win the award.
Is this one of them random years that Miami Heat end up being one of the best teams?
I don't know if it's random because I like their win. We both like their win total over. They were 37.5.
Tyler Heroes is still not playing, by the way, and Norman Powell's been out for a couple games, or for a game.
I'll tell you what, though, separate note, not going to spend too much time on it. Really bad for Hero stock. So Hero's out, the team looks good, and Hero's out for the playoffs, and they reach the finals.
Yeah.
Not looking good for Tyler Hero stock.
But this is a new offense, so I think he could thrive in this offense.
I think he can too. Just saying, from the historical perspective, when Hero's out, the team has played pretty well. Just throwing it out there. That is not a good look, historically speaking.
Well, hopefully they continue to make the Heat dogs more than favorites, because if they do that, then the Heat are going to be amazing this season. All right, Scott, let's get into it. Lock, dog, underdog. Well, we already did underdog. Make sure you go back to the underdog read for that one. It's at it, by the way, about 35 minutes, somewhere around there. It's you. We're not changing though. I feel like we've been solid.
That's fine. For the lock, give me the over in the Heat and Hornets game. I'm not gonna. So not the Heat and Hornets. Sorry, in the Hornets and Magic game. Nobody's guarding anybody. There's no reason for me to assume that this game is going to suddenly slow down. Charlotte wants to play fast. So does Orlando for some reason. They can't guard anybody, and the offense has actually scored. So I like the over in that game. 240.5. Quickly seeing if there is a better number out there. I see Novik as even money, so I'll take the even money since I can get it. So give me plus 100 on the over 240.5 as my lock in that Orlando game. For the dog, I'm going to go with a play that I recommended for underdog, and I'm going to use it again with a different number. Give me Harper over his assists at 5.5, plus 200 for this one, which I think is a very good number. I think that you're looking at a good opportunity for Harper in a fast-paced game to contribute. He's had 6+ assists in 2 straight. Miami, to the shooting guard position, is allowing the 5th most assists per game in the league. So whether Castle's point guard, whether it's Harper, point is he's been doing very well facilitating lately. I think it's a good matchup for him. Give me Dylan Harper over 5.5 assists at plus 200 as my dog for the show.
All right. Lock. I want everybody to know I'm going a little bit different here today.
Okay.
But I really think my angle for the game is good. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks plus 1.5 in the first half.
Okay.
Plus 1.5 saves me if it's a tie. But I really do think that they're going to have issues in the early part figuring out what the fuck to do about Giannis. As much as everybody else does. Now, the Bucks haven't been the greatest starting games themselves, but the Warriors are 0-5 ATS in the first half this season.
Third quarter team.
The third quarter is when they take over. And so how do we bet that? We bet before that. And I do want a piece of this Bucks team in this game because I do think that they are playing above expectations right now. And Giannis is doing what he does. And I've realized my mistakes in underselling Giannis. So with that, this Warriors team has no size. They have literally nobody that can guard him, nobody that can stay in front of him. They have to figure out, are we going to throw doubles? Are we going to play back? How are we going to guard it? I think they're going to go and try a bunch of different things early. It's not going to work. And this Bucks team is going to look really good for a half. And then we'll see what happens when the third quarter comes around. But I like the Milwaukee Bucks in the first half, plus 1.5. I might have gotten cute, but it's only 4 games on the slate. And
that's fine.
My dog is the Miami Heat, so I couldn't take them for a lock. But yes, the Heat money line is the dog. This is what the Heat do. This is Heat culture. Heat go on the road as dogs and overperform everybody's expectations. I can get that at plus 190 right now. And they could throw a bunch of different styles here. This is going to be the Mitch Johnson versus Eric Spoelstra. And I'm going to take my shot on Eric Spoelstra, going out there, getting a win, giving the Spurs their first loss of the season. Plus 190 for the Miami Heat on the money line today as a dog. All right. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No, once again, pretty limited card. But of course, people are going to be watching football, stuff like that. A reminder for the propcast, Adam and I did a show mixing NBA and NHL. So if you want some props for the games today in the NBA, I did a couple props there too. For the schedule tomorrow, I'll be back with Lonte. So that's going to be the schedule for tomorrow. And yeah, once again, good luck to you and your bets.
All right. When there we go. He's at Red Show Radio. I'm at really real underscore. Make sure you give us a follow on X at SGPN NBA on X as well. 5-star rating and review for all of our picks and podcasts, please. And with that, that is it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of any podcast is going to like this. Oh, yeah, and give us a like on the way out of the video.